Hi VC, back with another video. So this one is sort of like on pop-psych. So those records you go, wow, that's kind of a pop record. Sounds a little bit psyche, who knows? It's up to everybody's individual interpretation. So let's get underway. I think, well, pretty much all of these will be from the 1960s. And that's that pop-psych type genre. And we'll start off with one that everybody's aware of. The Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Good sense, innocence, crippling mankind. Dead kings, many things I can define. Occasions, spots, frightens, clutter your mind. Incense and peppermints, the color of time. Who cares what games we choose? Little to win, but nothing to lose.
So I was at a vinyl show a few years back, and by that point I had collected all four of the Strawberry Alarm Clock studio albums. And I was, actually this one popped up in the bin I was flipping through, and next to me was a colleague of mine who had tremendous knowledge on vinyl records, the whole everything and what they're worth and who produced them and all that. And when he saw me looking at this album, he said, "Do you have that one?" And I said, "No, I don't. I have the Strawberry Alarm Clock albums." And he goes, "Buy it." And I said, "What do you mean buy it? Is this even a legitimate release or whatever? I never seen it before." And he goes, "Just buy it." And I always, whenever he says buy it, I buy it. And as I paid the vendor, another person standing on the other side of me, just a stranger, said, "Man, that's a really good buy." And I'm going, I still don't know really what's all about this record. But anyway, here's one that I think is a favorite of the VC. I think everybody and their dog either has a copy or wants a copy of the original.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in the sun to promised lands, to show you everyone. It's the time of the season for loving.
I bought this copy about, I don't know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And it was just it was at a flea market, and the vendor says, "I can't believe it. I had this record at a vinyl show yesterday up on the rack so everybody could see it. And nobody was interested in buying it." I said, "Probably nobody knew what it was." Here's one I think most people are familiar with. Peanut Butter Conspiracy.
About their love that's growing backwardly through their golden minds. They just run about a price that's dying forwardly.
Very good album. Here's one of my favorite groups. And their original pressings were on the Pink Elephant label, and I always wanted to get Pink Elephant pressings, and no way, they are just way beyond my means.
Me so to be under your spell.
I'm pretty sure I've got all of their studio albums. The first one, which had that big hit Venus, it was a US pressing. And then all my other ones are European pressings. Here's one that I see occasionally being shown in the VC. Travel agency. Here's another one of my favorite bands from the 60s. I've collected all of their studio albums, and this is probably the best known. I think it's their first album. I Had Too Much to Dream last night, the Electric Prunes.
Last night your shadow fell upon my lonely room. I touched your golden hair and tasted your perfume. Your eyes were filled with love the way they used to be. Your gentle hand reached out to comfort me.
My favorite of theirs is their second album, and then toward a bit later they sort of went off on a bit of a tangent, sort of a lot of like religious overtones to their music. Here's a band I have, I think 4 of their albums. I'm not sure, can't be sure. I think this is their first album, but don't quote me on that. That's Fever Tree.
Milk and honey days. Oh, San Francisco girls with San Francisco.
Label for this sort of genre of that little pipey pop-psych type stuff. And of course, on all these albums, not every track is pop. Some are pop-psych, some are just straight pop music, straight rock music. Could be even a bit of bluesy, but there's usually a couple tracks that you could say are a little bit psychedelic anyways. Once again, here's another band that everybody's familiar with. I think every one of their albums that I bought, I found in the $2 bin. Vanilla Fudge. This is a band that did some really great covers over the years. Great organ playing. There's a band that I think leans much more to the pop side, but they have some good tracks. That was the Love Generation.
Beside a glowing fireplace.
think I got one other album by that band. And the group is all lying in some tall grass. There's a band that everybody's aware of. They put out quite a few albums. And all of them are quite good, I think. Tommy James and the Shondells.
Now I don't hardly know her, but I think I could love her. Crimson and clover. Ah, will she come walking over? Now I've been waiting to show her. Crimson and clover.
So as most people are know, like very sort of poppy group with some psych overtones and that on some of their songs, and pretty much, let's say, pretty much like AM pop. But then I went and picked up, I guess, I don't know, was their last album? I can't be sure. And this was sort of blind, like Tommy James, and I knew, of course, knew the band, but I was not familiar with any tracks on the album. But I said, oh God, it's Tommy James, I'll buy it. I think it was $7. And put it on the turntable when I got home. And about 3 or 4 minutes in, I thought somebody had put a Pink Floyd record inside the jacket. This one here, the Cellophane Symphony. Some tracks on here where they definitely went to the psych side. Here's a fantastic band that unfortunately after their, I think it's their first album, had some tremendous bad luck in that their lead singer was severely injured in a car crash, which had a major impact on the band going forward. Their debut album was absolute killer, one of the best, I think. And this is Sweetwater. There are tracks on this album that I would say are not pop-psych. They're just straight up psychedelic stuff. Here's a female group, predominantly pop music, I would say, but definitely a few tracks in there that started to lean a little bit towards the pop-psych side. And that's an album I really like. Feminine Complex.
In your eyes, you know I'm anticipating. With you it takes time, but it's worth the time of waiting.
Took a while to track down a copy of this album. It has been reissued. I don't know if it's Sundays or not, but I've seen a modern reissue of that one. That was a little bit tough to get. Here's another great band. A little bit of funk, a little bit of soul, a little bit of pop, and a little bit of psych. The Rotary Connection.
Recapitulate my loving honey. All I ask for you to do is to give me my baby, baby, baby.
That's a great band. I think I'm missing one of their records to complete my collection now. There's a record that's still in the shrink. The price back whenever, 67 cents. I don't remember what I paid for it. I didn't pay a lot for it. I sure didn't pay 67 cents. Imagine being able to go back in time to the 60s or whatever and buy up all the albums at the price they were being offered at the time. You clean up and then bring them all back to the present. Of course, if that were the case, one of the very first albums I would go after would be the Beatles' Butcher cover. Here's a band that is predominantly, I would say, like a garage band. But they sure had a crack at psychedelic in this album here, and that's the Seeds.
In a land across the sea, ruled by dragons known only to me, my lady Ashley awaits for me, holding out her hand, holding out her hand. A magic carpet couldn't take you there, 'cause it's locked inside your head. And you travel all the way, travel first class, travel with your mind, just travel with your mind.
There are posters and postcards and all that in here. I won't bother pulling them all out now for the sake of time. But yeah, this one has the inserts. Last record, and I think this is a great record to end on. An absolute classic for this sort of pop-psych. Though this song, I think, is a little bit more towards the psychedelic side, and this is the first edition.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
I woke up this morning with the sun down shining in. I found my mind in a brown paper bag, but then I tripped on a cloud and fell 8 miles high. I tore my mind on a jagged sky. I just dropped
There is
in.
an absolute awesome video up on YouTube of this band performing their hit Just Dropped In. It was recorded in 1972. It's worth digging up and trying to find it and take a look. It was a great video of these guys. So that's it for today. Trying to keep quicker and fast. A little bit of Pop-Psych, I guess that was a walk down memory lane. Most people will be familiar with these albums. So as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.